So how did this become one of the most advanced surveillance technologies ever developed by the CIA? The answer lies in its extraordinary capability. It can detect and lock onto the heartbeat of a single individual, whether friend or enemy, from dozens of meters away. By April 2026, this technology had moved beyond theory and into real-world deployment. With this classified system, U.S. forces no longer had to rely on radio signals or traditional tracking methods. If you want more deep military breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next analysis. They could identify and track a single person hidden deep inside a cave from miles away, simply by isolating the rhythm of a human heartbeat. Our 3D animators created a simplified model of this overclocked system to show how it works. It uses engineered synthetic diamonds to create a long-range quantum sensor. Strapped to a helicopter, it can detect the tiny electromagnetic pulse of a beating heart from miles away. So why use this specific technology to find the missing weapons system officer instead of the usual tech? Well, it is because infrared cameras and satellites are completely useless when your target is buried deep inside a mountain. In short, the CIA can now track your actual heartbeat. If you're in friend, this tech could be the lifeline that brings you home. But if you're the enemy, not even the caves or the desert can hide you anymore.
How the U.S. deployed the CIA's secret weapon. In early April 2026, the CIA pulled the curtain back on a terrifyingly advanced piece of technology. The mission to rescue a downed F-15E Strike Eagle weapons systems officer known to the public only as Dude 44 Bravo. To find him, the U.S. military mounted highly classified heartbeat scanning technology onto Black Hawk helicopters and HC-130J Combat Kings to sweep the battlefield. Developed by Lockheed Martin's legendary Skunk Works, the system is officially based on quantum magnetometry, but in the field it goes by a much cooler name, Ghost Murmur. This secret weapon allowed U.S. forces to find a man hiding in a cave from up to 40 meters away simply by listening to his heartbeat. The implications are staggering. Imagine you're an enemy combatant or a fugitive hiding deep in the desert. With one sweep, this technology can pinpoint your exact location, even through solid rock. So how does this system actually function? To understand something like Ghost Murmur, you need to look at the fundamental physics of the human body. Every time your heart beats, your muscles undergo depolarization, producing a very faint electromagnetic signal. Under normal conditions, even doctors need to place sensors directly on the chest just to detect and measure this activity. Ghost Murmur takes that concept and scales it up to a battlefield level using long-range quantum magnetometry. The core of a system relies on microscopic engineered defects inside synthetic diamonds known as nitrogen vacancy centers. At the quantum level, these defects are hypersensitive to even the smallest fluctuations in magnetic fields.
When mounted on a helicopter, these quantum sensors cast a massive invisible net over the landscape, registering the microscopic electromagnetic footprint of a human heart from miles away. But there is a catch. A quantum sensor is almost too good. It absorbs everything. A modern battlefield is flooded with electromagnetic noise, the Earth's natural magnetic fields, solar radiation, enemy radar, and radio chatter. If you examine the raw data, it appears as nothing more than pure noise. To actually locate the pilot, Ghost Murmur depends on a powerful AI-driven processing system. This AI is specifically trained for one purpose: identifying the exact biological rhythm of a human heartbeat, often referred to as the murmur. It functions as an aggressive filter, cutting through massive layers of background interference to isolate that one consistent repeating signal.
As one source familiar with the program explained, it's like trying to hear a single whisper in a packed stadium, except the stadium is 1,000 square miles of desert. When Dude 44 Bravo went down, he spent roughly 36 hours in hiding. You might be wondering, why not just use satellites to capture his heat signature? The answer is simple. If he's hiding deep inside a cave system, traditional cameras and thermal trackers cannot penetrate those hardened structures. So this is the perfect time to use the ghost murmurs. In the southern Iranian desert provided the perfect testing ground for this new tech. It's a low-clutter environment with almost zero electromagnetic interference and very few competing human biological signatures. Ghost murmur is also entirely passive. It doesn't broadcast a signal, it simply reads the environment. The downed airman didn't have to break cover or risk radioing for help. As long as his heart was beating, he was a beacon on a CIA monitor. When the sun set and the desert temperature plummeted, search and rescue teams paired this quantum heartbeat detection with traditional thermal imaging. They locked on to his exact position, cross-referenced the data, and sent in the recovery team. The name of his program is Deliberate Murmur, for the clinical rhythm of the heart. Ghosts, for locating an asset that had effectively disappeared. During the rescue, a lot of people were asking why would the US willingly destroy a $200 million plane? Well, the destruction of that C-130 in the Iranian desert is a stark reminder of just how unforgiving modern special operations can be. The Ghost Murmur hardware and the highly classified CIA tech packed inside these aircraft are so advanced and so vital to national security that the planes themselves become completely expendable. To the US military, deliberately burning hundreds of millions of dollars worth of equipment isn't a failure. It's a necessary sacrifice to keep American secrets in the dark, denying the enemy a massive technological windfall, and most importantly, bring American personnel home alive. Now you might be wondering, why didn't the weapons systems officer simply use a radio or a coded signal to transmit his position? The truth is, Iranian signals intelligence is far more advanced than most people assume.
They have dedicated units specifically designed to hunt and track continuous broadcasts. When their F-15 was shot down by a surface-to-air missile, both crew members managed to eject, but the weapons system officer was injured in the process. His immediate objective: get to higher ground. Despite his injuries, he hiked over 2 miles and scaled a 7,000-foot ridgeline. While evading capture, he managed to activate his emergency beacon, allowing US forces to begin tracking his position. But he couldn't stay on the radio. His transmissions had to remain sporadic. If he transmitted too frequently, IRGC signals intelligence units, actively hunting his frequency, would be able to pinpoint his exact location. In a hostile evasion scenario, a standard rescue beacon or coded message isn't a lifeline, it's a homing signal for the enemy. And that is exactly why Ghost Murmur becomes the ideal tool for tracking a soldier behind enemy lines. To buy the downed officer time, the CIA initiated a large-scale deception operation inside Iran. They began spreading false reports that US forces had already recovered the WSO and were attempting a ground extraction. It worked perfectly. This false narrative successfully redirected Iranian military resources and attention away from the real extraction zone. Despite the odds, US Special Forces navigated the rugged terrain at low altitude using helicopters, reaching the objective and establishing a defensive perimeter around the injured WSO. But time was running out. Just as they prepared to secure him and extract, the situation escalated rapidly. IRGC ground forces, mobilization units, and local militias were converging fast on their exact location.
What happened next was an absolute slugfest. A massive, hours-long firefight erupted right in the middle of the day. Look at this ridge. They were surrounded, taking fire from all sides. US operators laid down a withering wall of suppressive fire. The commandos locked down a 360-degree defensive perimeter, guns up, air cover overhead designed to annihilate any IRGC element that stepped within range. But it was the loitering U.S. aircraft overhead that truly tipped the scales. To keep the extraction corridor from collapsing, American air power continuously hammered the advancing Iranian units. Assets like the A-10 Thunderbolt rained hellfire down on them. The sheer volume of close air support from the A-10s, Little Birds, and Blackhawks pounded the surrounding Iranian positions, taking a heavy toll and resulting in reported casualties across areas like Quissa and Kakan. That air support bought the ground teams the one thing they needed most: seconds. But one of the most dangerous electronic warfare comes from the disc-shaped objects attached to this Black Hawk helicopter. While the Pentagon hasn't officially disclosed the specific hardware, military experts often call this a soft kill system. So how does this system actually operate? To understand the weapon, you first need to examine its effect. The most likely explanation for a phenomenon that creates intense internal pressure without any external sound is a high-powered microwave device. It works based on what's known as the fray effect. This system, likely deployed from platforms such as a Chinook or Black Hawk helicopter, emits a focused beam of pulsed microwave energy, not traditional sound waves, that can pass directly through the human skull. These waves are then absorbed by the water molecules in brain tissue and the fluid within the inner ear.
This energy creates an extremely small and rapid rise in temperature, less than 1 degree Celsius. But even that tiny, sudden expansion generates a pressure wave inside the skull. The result? The target begins to hear sounds, clicks, buzzing, even a roaring noise originating from inside their own head, completely bypassing the eardrums. If the frequency aligns with the resonance of the inner ear, it can severely disrupt the body's balance system, triggering instant vertigo. At higher power levels, this rapid expansion of tissue can rupture capillaries, leading to symptoms like nosebleeds and internal damage. There's also another possible explanation: a weaponized infrasonic pulse system. Instead of a steady beam, it delivers powerful bursts of low-frequency pressure waves below 20 Hz. These waves travel through the body, matching the natural resonance of internal organs such as the stomach or lungs. At high intensity, this can create cavitation, tiny bubbles forming within bodily fluids. When those bubbles collapse, they generate micro shock waves that damage surrounding tissue. The target experiences intense internal vibrations, causing severe nausea and effectively disabling them with overwhelming pain and disorientation. From a tactical standpoint, this technology acts as a massive force multiplier. Reports suggest that instead of engaging in a direct firefight, large groups of enemy forces were already incapacitated, dizzy, disoriented, and physically compromised before U.S. troops even made contact. This allowed a small unit of roughly 20 operators to move through a much larger force with minimal resistance. If you want more deep military and engineering breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next analysis.